everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Madison Paige, and let's just jump into the video. So today's video, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be testing / reviewing LGBTQ dating apps. I have 7 apps that I downloaded. Only 3 of them are specifically targeted towards queer women. If you're new here, by the way, I identify formally as bisexual, but I also don't mind the term queer. And then the other 4 are for, everybody. I got these off an article that I cannot remember what it was, but I'll link it below. So yeah, I have 3 specifically LGBT apps, and then 4 that are just for everybody that I got to see if they were easy to use as a queer woman. Now, for the purposes of this video, I did change all of my settings to be just women. My preference is to be just women. And so we'll start with Tinder. Now, Tinder I use pretty often anyway. There are a few other videos that I have on Tinder, which rather than putting them all separately in the cards above, I will just put the social media playlist. And basically, I find Tinder really good because it's what dating apps are based on, like your location and who else uses them and stuff. And Tinder is really good because most of the people in my area use it. So yeah, Tinder is really good. I didn't have a lot of luck when I was first using it for this video, just because I was a little bit of a dork and kept all my other settings the same. But in the last few days I have set the distance to the maximum distance, and that's gotten me a whole bunch more luck. I would say, for me personally, it's quite easy to use. The second app is Coffee Meets Bagel. I had literally never heard of this. So before I changed my settings on Coffee Meets Bagel to just women, it did come up with people and options, none of whom were quite my type. It seemed that my preferences didn't actually matter because I know I definitely had an age range and they were giving me people way older than that age range. But as soon as I set my preferences to just women, even when I made the distance the absolute maximum, I started to get absolutely nothing. Okay, so the next app is Just She. Again, never heard of it until I saw it on the article. I am not loving this app just because even when I set my distance, the maximum distance is 60 k's, so not a wide pool anyway. But the main reason I don't love this app is because to do literally anything, you have to pay, and I don't want to do that, especially when a 1-month subscription is $67. No thank you. But yeah, I've barely been able to use this app just because you have to try and fucking pay for everything. Speak English, Madison. Okay, so I also forgot to mention about this app is it polices your photos. So you couldn't have selfies that were like super close up, which is pretty much all of my selfies are. So I had to fuck around for ages trying to find good photos that I could use, and I could only end up using 3. The 4th app is Her, which I had a Her account years ago. I've always found it pretty good. It's kind of the only queer app that my small little community knows about. I didn't get a lot of options when I had like the smaller distance. It was more or less the same people coming up over and over again, whether or not I'd swiped right or swiped left. But then as soon as I widened my pool, I got way more people. Still no matches on any of these, but that's simply because I'm a potato. But I do enjoy Her. I think Her is a good app. The next app is called Leslie. Now, I found all of these specifically targeted apps when I was looking for one specific one called Femme that was on the article, but I couldn't, it wasn't in the app store for me. So I found all these other ones instead, and I thought I'd download those. Leslie is very similar in the sense that you can't do anything without paying for a subscription, which again, I have no intention of doing that. Also, it gives me notifications, and then it won't leave me alone no matter if I turn off the notifications or not. But to sum it up, it's a stalker app that you have to pay for, and I don't want to pay for it. The next app is OkCupid, which I was actually really enjoying. OkCupid, I like that it has little like questionnaires that you can do. It's very thorough. Like the profiles are very thorough. You can fill them out in depth. Turns out I hadn't changed the distance on that one. But I have been really enjoying OkCupid. I think it's really good. I think it's just not an app that my community knows about, so there's not a lot of like choices on here. I also like the percentages, like it gives you a percentage of how much they think you will work. All of these apps I run out of people super quickly, just again because there's just not a lot of choice. The only real dating app that people use here is Tinder. But the next app is Bumble. That's probably like the second one that people know most, so I got a lot of like options on there. Still not a bunch. My thoughts on each app. Tinder I think is good. It's easy to use, no matter what you're looking for, whether it's, you know, guy, girl, non-binary, trans, all of the above, none of the above, whatever. It's good for that. You can set your preferences really well. I think it's easy to use, and like the whole swipe right, swipe left is generally pretty easy. Coffee Meets Bagel I'm not a huge fan of. The only thing I did really like about it is that like each day it gives you like suggested people and you can like swipe left or swipe right on them. But apart from that, I'm not a huge fan. Just because, I don't know, people don't use it here, so it's not great when no one else is using it. Just She, I think, is shit. Just because you have to pay for everything, and I don't want to pay. Her is very good. I enjoy using it. I don't use it that often though. I mean, I don't use dating apps in general that often though. Her is definitely, like, out of the specifically targeted for queer women apps, this is definitely the best one that I got. Leslie, I didn't enjoy, just again because it's attacking me with notifications that I don't want, and you have to pay for it, and I don't want to. OkCupid I enjoy. I don't think I would have much luck on it when it came to actually matching people, but I like the way that you set up your profile. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I might, just because I enjoy answering the questions. Bumble's pretty good. Again, not a whole bunch of choices, or there are, but only if I'm looking for men, which I'm not. So as I'm testing them for how easy they are to use as a queer woman, and Bumble is not super easy to use as a queer woman. OkCupid is, like, it comes up with people, but also, you know, not. Coffee Meets Bagel is definitely not easy to use as a queer woman. I think the best apps that I got are Tinder, that's like, you know, for everyone, that's easy to use as a queer woman, and Her, that's specifically targeted. Can I fucking speak English? Jesus Christ. You know what, I should edit all of my bloopers together and just call it Madison Paige trying to speak English for fucking 3 hours straight. So yeah, that was the video. Not sure where I was going with it, but that was the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you use dating apps, which one you think is the best. If you're already in a relationship, tell me how you and your partner met. If you're single and likely to stay that way, as I am, tell me what vegetable you are, as I have already described myself as a potato. Subscribe if you haven't already, tap the bell notification thingy to be notified every time I post, and I'll see you next time. Bye!